So 2 quick things before we hop into today's episode, both of which are my own fault. The first of which being that there was an option to tell Jade that we are part of the Dark Brotherhood, either that we're a member or that we are the listener. The dialogue options pop up during your first interaction with her. However, it seems that if you don't say them immediately and you don't take that chance the second they pop up, those options disappear from the rest of the conversation. I've been told that there will be a chance later on to bring it up again, but I do wish that there was some way to bring it up at any point, because, well, we are still the listener, after all. The second mistake being that I was supposed to follow Bryn when she told me to run, when we first got to the island and we saw the first Oblivion Gate. Instead, it was dark, and I just went for the Oblivion portal immediately. I did find her not too far from my ship. However, the problem seems to be that I can't talk to her anymore. I'm guessing because her stage of the quest has already been completed, because we were supposed to talk to her when we first got to the island. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm getting a bad ending because I've messed these 2 things up so far. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hey, sis.
Need something?
Something on your mind?
Forgive me if this isn't the place to ask, but what's it like? Being a hero, I mean. Is it every bit as magnificent as the legends make it out to be?
It's honestly a lot of stress, and man oh man, with how much gold I make, you should see what I pay in taxes. I'm hoping to retire. The people of Skyrim don't deserve my greatness. Now that you're Dragonborn too, I hope to pawn off my responsibilities. It's not what you think. Most people don't even recognize me as their savior. It's all honor and glory. We gotta share the load.
One day I'll be capable enough to accept such an illustrious offer. But as it stands, I know very little of dragon slaying.
Stick them with the pointy end.
I think it'd be best if you retained the title for now.
Why do you ask?
If you haven't already guessed, I want to be like you one day.
Aww.
To have such limitless power at the forefront of my tongue, there'd be no end to the good deeds I could achieve. Tyrants would concede their sovereignty, dragons would fall at my feet, and the people I care about would never know danger.
What's stopping you? Why not commit evil deeds instead? You'd have more potential for evil. Pursuit of power isn't a virtuous plight. What's stopping you?
Well, my limited arsenal of shouts is one thing, and my inexperience in dragon slaying another. But those should be easy hurdles to overcome, right?
Well, I kinda killed a lot of dragons, so I'm not sure how many are left at this point. You'd have more potential for evil. Pursuit of power isn't a virtuous plight. She might not like to hear that, but it's something that the Greybeards always warn about.
Surely it's better than being passive in a world that preys on weakness.
That's true.
To stand up to evil, we must be stronger than it. You of all people should know that.
And that's why I think you'll succeed. And I hope you succeed. The world needs more heroes.
And it's in no short supplies of evildoers, outlaws, or monsters.
Yeah.
I shudder to imagine a Nirn without people like us to put them in check.
You seem eager to take my place.
Oh, it's nothing like that.
No, go for it. You're younger.
I was just thinking about what's left for me when this is all over. Once we found our parents and returned to solitude.
I got bad news for you.
I'd like to stay in Skyrim for a while, as a student of yours, if you'd have me. We could be the dynamic duo of dragon slaying.
I have a little bit of bad news. I don't think that our parents are out there. I don't know if I believe any of it, because it's a weird coincidence that as we tried to follow the directions that we wound up on the island, where our destiny is intertwined, that we cannot leave. So I think we got scammed. I could use the help.
Great! No dragon will be safe with the 2 of us roaming the province. We'll put a swift and precise end to their horror.
Let's focus on getting off the island first.
Fair enough. But maybe you could answer something else for me first.
Sure. What did you want to know?
I'm trying to become more proficient with my Thuum, but one thing keeps holding me back.
Dragon souls?
How do we learn additional shouts? I've had the same 2 variations since birth.
We absorb knowledge of the voice through the souls of dragons. It would be cool if I could learn how to pass on my knowledge of a shout the way that the Greybeards and Parthenax can? Just, lore-wise, I should be able to, right?
Directly from their souls? That explains why I haven't made any notable progress.
And maybe if there was like a cooldown for it, like, oh, you can only teach her like one new word, like once a week or something. You've known your shouts since birth?
Of course.
What?
Isn't that what being Dragonborn means?
Man, Mom and Dad had a favorite, huh?
Are you saying you didn't come into the world with this ability?
Mom and Dad absolutely had a favorite. I think they taught you something and didn't teach me anything. I had to slay a dragon first. Well, okay. I learned a word from a word wall, but then I had to kill a dragon in order to use it.
Really? Huh. Maybe that means my powers are superior.
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Fear not, I won't tell the people of Skyrim. Yet.
She's gonna put me out of business. And how many dragons have you killed again?
No fair. It's not my fault I wasn't in Skyrim for the zenith of the dragon crisis. I have yet to see one of those creatures up close. Or at all, for that matter.
Note to self, don't take her to Parthenax, because she's just gonna say, oh, look, a dragon, and kill him, and I'm gonna stand there crying my eyes out.
Alright, Mr. Right Time, Right Place.
That's destiny for
If
you.
we ever make it out of here, I'll challenge you to a dragon killing contest. Loser has to surrender half the gold in their coffers.
Oh god. That's a lot of gold. It's rigged, but sure, why not? You're on, I think I'll sit that one out. You're on.
Ha! You'd better start refining your skills. Being outperformed by your baby sister isn't something I'd let you live down. Of course, this is all for naught if we don't find a way home first.
Hey, maybe, dragons will come to the island for us. That'll make our lives easier. Don't you still want to find our parents? That definitely wasn't a scam or, a trick at all?
That's what I meant by home. Do you still want to?
After we fix the boat, I'm going straight to Skyrim. I mean, I want to see where it goes, so, yeah. Assuming that they're real, assuming that this wasn't just an elaborate ploy, yeah, I'd want to know who they are.
Good to hear. I know this trip hasn't exactly gone to plan, but as long as we stick to our primary goal, I'm certain we'll reach it eventually.
Eventually. Is there a way to check my regard? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, 15 out of 20 XP. Friend, current regard 12. Regard ranks change every 10 regard. Ooh. It sounds like a lot, but maybe it'll go up a little faster as we continue. We'll see. Yeah, he doesn't like me. I knew Haden didn't like me. That's fine. We're about to rank up, we're about to go up in regard with Katri, fortunately. Roland, I think, will like us the most. No, just under Iriel, okay. Tassius, makes sense that it wouldn't be super high yet. Tia, we haven't taken anywhere, so, yeah. Okay, I'm glad that's there. I am really glad there's a way to check on all of that. Still hoping I can give people gifts and just kind of, use that as a little bit of a, not cheat system, but a convenience system, the way that you would in Dragon Age Origins.
Be brief.
Something on your mind?
Forgive the irrelevancy of this, but I must know. Have you taken notice of the lawlessness that dwells here?
Yeah, I have.
There is no order to be found in these villages. No doctrine or code they collectively pledge themselves to. It is irreverent, barbaric, shameful. I fear the same will become of Tamriel, should good men stand idle while evil creeps about unchallenged.
I meant more so along the lines of how many bandits there were. Outcasts, bandits, but, okay. The villages seem to be managing well enough, though, aside from them asking me to kill an entire village, but
Do they? Daedra kill by the hundreds, Formidable monstrosities run rampant from the soil to the sky, and a curse of restraint keeps residents from desertion. That is not the way the Divines desired their people to live.
Well, that's the Daedra for you. What, and you think they brought it upon themselves?
If men do not punish foul deeds through law and justice, then the Divines will leave them to the mercy of the Daedra.
Yeah, you're a little overpious for me.
It is no wonder these people suffer. They have forsaken their gods and bolstered generations of sin.
You're a little overly pious. So what, you believe the solution is stricter laws? They don't even have guards here.
And stouter men to uphold them. For laws without enforcement are but ideals. Justice should be distributed swiftly, and without the hindrance of mercy.
All I'm saying is that, some sins sound pretty fun.
Crimes forgiven are crimes recurred. I'll admit the punishment for every ill deed need not be the same. A murderer should not serve the same sentence as a thief, but that does not excuse the thief from penalty.
We are on a stolen ship, just so you know. I hope you'll consider adopting a less radical ideology.
It is only dangerous to those who oppose justice.
I had a feeling.
For those who live in the light of the Divines, it carries no peril.
I knew it was gonna put him at odds with me. However, I also don't want to just, like, change what I think every time I know that a companion's going to disagree with me. Do you plan on restoring justice to the island?
In what ways I can. I am but one knight in a sea of criminality.
They're not all criminals, come on.
Some sins I must overlook while I am under pledge, such as those prevalent within our company.
Oh, the Dark Brotherhood lady.
But I stand ready to purify those of which I have no binding arrangement. For the honor of the Thorn, and the memory of my father.
Your father?
Yes, or so I expect. I have only faint memories of him. But I know he believed in the principles of the Thorn, and all that our order could be. So long as I cling firmly to his beliefs, and stray not from the path of righteousness, I stand a chance to make him proud. That is enough for me.
We're gonna find your dad, aren't we? We're gonna find him and he's gonna be a big raging douchebag. How much you want to bet? I'll take bets on it, frankly. You wasted no time.
What do you want?
Decorating. Why did you have all this stuff on you, frankly? Where were you keeping all of this?
What is it? What do you want?
Something on your mind?
Yes, I suppose there is. A crew member of yours approached me with a contract earlier.
Excuse me?
You want in on it?
What? You want my help? And who is ordering murders within my crew? This is a mutiny if I've ever heard of one.
I want insurance. There's no guarantee you won't repair the ship and set sail while I'm away.
Well, you're threatening to kill
As
people,
long as
so-
you're within earshot, I have the possibility of getting off this rock.
Our ship is still a long way from being fixed.
Yes, you and your sister are quite fond of saying that.
You don't trust us?
In the Brotherhood, we have a term for assassins who trust outsiders.
Fools.
They're called corpses.
Oh, I was close. Same general vein. I'm in, but only if we split the payment.
Of course. I'm an assassin, not a thief. When the body drops, you'll get your share. I'll even let you pick between septums or the local currency.
How generous. Which of my companions hired you?
Trade secret, Dova. I don't disclose the identities of my clients.
Is it for the same person you originally came here to kill?
As convenient as that would be, no. This one is for a local resident.
Oh? Wait. Okay, I thought someone in my crew was ordering her to kill someone else in the crew. A member of my crew performed the Black Sacrament?
They just offered compensation for a hit. There's no need to bring the Night Mother into this.
Alright, Astrid. Who's the target?
He supplies the neighborhood with moon sugar. It's the secret ingredient in Old Crescent, this island's attempt at a potable rum. Problem is, no one's seen this drug peddler in over 5 years. Nobody that's willing to talk, at least. That makes locating his whereabouts our first order of business.
You know, I'm now a little bit more okay with this contract. What's your plan?
To get his attention, we'll need to put a dent in his earnings. And what better way of doing so than by neutralizing his distributors? He'll be desperate to fill those positions promptly. After that, all we need to do to find him is to apply.
Why is he hiding? Is moon sugar even illegal? Is anything illegal on this island?
Not exactly. His gimmick is that he's the only one who's managed to grow the moon sugar cane out here.
Ah, that'll
Concealment and confidentiality are his ways of ensuring he dominates the market.
You know where the distributors are?
Not yet, but they'll be easier to locate than the target is. As soon as I have something, I'll let you know.
Okay. So yeah, we don't have anything for her yet, because she said she'll let us know later, but...
Dovahkiin?
That's a contract I can get behind, alright. Man, who ordered it then? I can see Haden doing it because he doesn't want someone messing with good alcohol. I can also see you doing it because there's nobody else to carry out law and order. So while you might not like the Dark Brotherhood and their methods, you were willing to slightly compromise on your morals in order to get the job done.
Greetings.
Hi.
Need something?
Something on your mind since you don't... What was that?
Yeah, this splitting headache. Feels like the world is running laps around me.
Were you drinking last night? What was that in your hand just now? That looked a lot like a skooma.
No.
No?
Well, yes. But that's hardly relevant. Something else is to blame. I get these nightmares every once in a while. Visions of trauma now long past. The headaches usually follow.
Like the dreams I get?
Not quite. From what I understand of yours, they're ambiguous and directly related to this island. The ones I get are linked to a certain chapter of my life. I'd suffer through them long before we ventured out together.
What are they about?
I'd rather not say. It's nothing personal, it's just that, ever since I left a sweet roll alone with my 3 best friends and returned to an empty plate, I've had trust issues.
My condolences. Stolen sweet rolls are an epidemic in Skyrim. A tragedy as old as time. I'm sorry for your loss. That's potentially the dumbest thing I've heard about. It was just a sweet roll. It's not going to be a sweet roll. That's going to be what he called his wife. And yeah.
No, it wasn't just a sweet roll.
Yeah.
It was my sweet roll, and it was taken from me. Bastards. Worst part is, I never figured out who did it. Was it an organized heist, or had one of them been operating alone? I'm afraid I'll never know.
And here I thought you were one of the sane ones. If there's anything I can do to ease the headaches, let me know.
Actually, I could use some help. Not with the headaches, though. I've more or less accepted those as a certainty. It's with something else.
What is it?
I may or may not have promised the locals I'd kill an outcast for them. Truth is, I don't remember all too well. That night was wild.
You were partying with the locals? Where was I? How did I not know about this?
For the record, they call it a festivity here. If you ever find yourself at one, take my advice. The rum is not to be underestimated.
Oh, you don't say.
Just after it graced my lips, I was chanting the age of aggression in my undergarments on the roof of a bamboo hut.
What did this outcast do to deserve death? I mean, all the outcasts attack us on sight, so I'm not really surprised.
Something about murder, I think. Or was it seashell laundry.
Those are very different things.
Honestly, I haven't the faintest memory. It doesn't matter. If I make a promise, I see it through. That's just how it is.
What if the promise is immoral? That's a dangerous mindset.
Possibly, but it's something I believe nonetheless.
Okay, so he does
I'll
believe
mark it
in
down
something.
on your map. No rush, of course. I'm sure our target isn't going anywhere.
So he does believe in something. Alright. Started Haden, a night to forget.
Yeah?
So you know what? If anything, we're probably going to do a little bit of side questing stuff the next time we leave, so we will take you, and I would assume we'll take Katri. We'll take Katri and we'll take Roland because, you know, then they get to see a side of you that's
Need something?
a little bit more aligned with their own values.
Yeah? Something you need?
Something on your mind?
Okay, so I think I've established the characters for my novel.
Oh.
I know you're supposed to write a little of yourself into the work,
I thought you weren't supposed to.
so I've made myself the beautiful princess trapped in a lonely tower by her strict and unstable father.
Okay, I know you're definitely not
I
supposed to
even
do
made
that.
you a character too. I hope you don't mind.
I know you're not supposed to self-insert
Anyway.
that much.
The plot follows our princess as she wishes upon a dying star, asking the divines to cure the ailment of her dying sister. When, all of a sudden, a handsome knight comes riding to meet her.
That's my character, I assume. So you're already setting us up in the book, then.
What? No, you're the lovably quirky yet undeniably clumsy chambermaid.
So I know that normally I have a regard system with you. Your regard system with me is dropping a little bit. That's going to be like a -4 points. Just saying. A chambermaid?
She wasn't always a maid. Back before her accident, she was a legendary sailor and a treasure hunter. The entire kingdom knew of and adored her adventures.
Wait, she? Her? You're writing me as a woman?
That's what you got out of it?
Ugh.
Men.
Her accident? Yeah, you know what? We're not really clicking right now, are we?
Oh, right. Forgot to mention her backstory. She nearly drowned at sea before being rescued by her crew. And ever since then, she's been terrified of the open sea.
Ah. It's your story, I guess.
Right. So, the knight informs our princess that a cure exists for her sister's rare disease. But it rests on an island riddled with pirates and cannibals. The king forbids our princess to go. But she sneaks out anyway, with the help of the chambermaid, and plans to sail off and find the cure and...
But she's scared of water.
Well, that's all there is at this point. I know it's not much, but what do you think?
Why does the king forbid her to leave?
Well, after his wife died, the king went insane.
Oh.
He believes that medicine such as a cure is witchcraft, and that only the gods can save his sick daughter.
Why does the chambermaid set sail if she's still terrified of the sea?
Out of love for the princess. The bond they share is so robust that the maid is willing to help confront her greatest fear to help her.
Okay. Little bit of a point in your favor then for the chambermaid. I'm not necessarily fond of the chambermaid thing. Like, why couldn't I be like a squire to your father, and then I hear your plight, I hear your tale, and I'm like, ah, yes, I believe this is a worthy cause.
That's because you don't know where it's headed yet. All in good time, Dovo. All in good time.
Something on your mind?
Maybe sometime later.
Okay. Once you have some more time to write.
Uh-huh.
Right? And last but certainly not least,
Something on your mind?
I'd like to know more about you.
Anything in particular?
What do you do to relax?
I try my best not to. Abominations rarely take time off from terrorizing nerds.
This is true.
The Vigil must display similar diligence if we hope to oppose them.
Surely you do something in your free time.
I suppose I enjoy stargazing well enough, but only when respite can be afforded. An inactive or lethargic vigilant is a waste of time, energy, and resources. Can you imagine the devastation that would ensue if we spent our evenings at taverns and brothels like the rest of Tamriel?
Oh no, we might die of fun.
It would be as if our order didn't exist at all.
The vigil not existing sounds like an improvement to me. For your point, I'm guessing morale isn't very popular in the vigil.
Why should it be? We're Daedra hunters, not revelers.
What happens should your order succeed in its mission?
That would be the ideal future for all of Nirn. Can you imagine a world without these monstrosities? A world where no mother has to bury her child after a werewolf strike, and no man must turn on his friends to satisfy his vampirism. It is unlikely to happen in my lifetime, but if I can help future generations attain such comfort, I will.
Well, that's the thing. I agree with those two specific goals, but there's also Daedra worshippers who aren't hurting anyone. Do you think that's likely to happen?
If not, I wouldn't have joined the vigil. I believe it will take time. Hundreds, if not thousands of years, perhaps, but in the end, the vigilance of Stendarr will prevail. What about you? What does the ideal future of Tamriel look like through the eyes of the Dovahkiin?
More brothels. The fall of the Aldmeri Dominion would be a start.
I agree, though I feel you may need to consider broadening your scope.
No, that's pretty important.
The Dominion, while responsible for its share of transgressions, does not represent Nirn's greatest adversaries.
They're my greatest adversary. Just saying.
Take care.
Damn. Unfortunately, no regard gained or lost from that conversation, so we made no change there whatsoever. Now, what I'm curious about is how much will the loyalty quest actually impact Haden's rapport with me, his reputation with me. Because right now, he doesn't really like me all that much. Right now, he's not necessarily a fan. Oh, look, it's raining again. And the reason I wonder, the reason I would like to know is because ultimately, given the Bioware inspiration, one thing that comes to mind is, when I think loyalty quests, I think Mass Effect 2. And Mass Effect 2 is a very kind of binary way of doing it, where once you had their loyalty, you were set. There were a couple ways you could lose it, but by and large, once you had their loyalty, you were good. What happened to my water? The water was not this bright earlier. I haven't changed anything on my load order settings, etc., so I don't know what just happened to that. Oh, that's a little odd. But unlike Mass Effect 2, there's obviously more of a, like, sliding scale with them, so you can lose rapport with them. So it might be the thing of, okay, doing the loyalty quest helps significantly, but you still have to worry about, you know, everything else after. Also, I think the...
Die! Not in the mood.
It looks like the water was just part of the weather, and maybe the time of day.
Fate!
Because I waited a couple hours, the weather cleared up, and now it's back to normal. I have a little bit of a water seam. I have tried so many different things to try and fix those water tessellation seams, and it always seems really hit or miss. Not just in mods, but also just even in, like, a more vanilla setting. So, I don't know what to really do about that. There's probably, like, a guaranteed way to fix some of the water seams, but I never seem to 100% fix it, unfortunately. Take Haden, Tickle the Outcast. We have Katri and Roland, because I'm hoping that having them with me shows them, like, oh, Haden can be a better dude.